In the medieval world, stories of distant lands and mysterious kingdoms captivated the imaginations of kings, merchants, and crusaders. Among these legends was one that stood above the rest, the story of Prester John, a powerful Christian king ruling a wealthy kingdom beyond the known world. His realm was said to be filled with gold, jewels, exotic creatures, and above all, devout Christians, ready to ally with Europe. For centuries, the search for Prester John fueled exploration, diplomacy, and religious hopes. The story of Prester John first emerged in Europe in the 12th century. It was a time of intense religious warfare. The Crusades were raging, and Christian Europe was struggling to hold on to its territories in the Holy Land. Against this backdrop, a mysterious letter appeared, addressed to the Byzantine Emperor and the Pope. It was supposedly written by Prester John himself, a Christian king ruling over a vast and distant land. He claimed his kingdom lay beyond the Muslim world and that he could bring his mighty armies to help retake Jerusalem if only Christian West could find him. The letter was filled with fantastic descriptions, a land where rivers ran with gems and where there were horned men, giants, and strange creatures. It claimed that Prester John's people were devout Christians living in a paradise of peace and prosperity. To European Christians, it sounded like a dream, a powerful ally who could turn the tide of the Crusades and restore Christian rule in Jerusalem. But of course no one knew where the John and his Golden Kingdom was located. At first, European scholars believed it was somewhere in Asia. The Mongol Empire was expanding, and there was hope that Prester John might be found in its vast territories. Envoys were sent eastward, traveling through Persia, Central Asia, and even reaching the court of the Mongol Khans. However, these missions returned with disappointing news. They found no trace of Prester John. Over time, attention shifted from Asia to Africa, specifically to Ethiopia. Ethiopia had long been a Christian kingdom, isolated from much of the Islamic world. By the 14th century, European explorers and traders heard stories of a powerful Christian ruler there, which reignited hopes that Ethiopia might be Prester John's kingdom. The Ethiopian kings themselves did little to dismiss this belief, as it provided an opportunity to ally with powerful European nations. In the 15th and 16th centuries, Portugal became particularly invested in the Ethiopian connection. Portuguese explorers reached Ethiopia and established diplomatic relations with the Ethiopian monarchy. Though they never found Prester John, they did discover a Christian kingdom, and for a time it seemed as though Ethiopia might be the fabled ally that Europe had dreamed of. However, the reality of Ethiopia was far from mythical paradise in Prester John's letters. By the 17th century, the dream of Prester John had largely faded. The once powerful myth of Christian king in a distant land waiting to help Europe reclaim Jerusalem was just that, a myth. But the search for Prester John had lasting consequences. It opened new channels of exploration, brought Christian Europe into contact with diverse cultures, and led to spread of Christianity in previously isolated regions.